Diversity is dead in the Democrat Party. It's a suggestion via a channel member. Let's see where this video takes us, guys. Let's jump into it, guys.
Kamala Harris was supposed to be the Democrats' savior, but her campaign fell apart.
Okay.
Here's one reason why. Joe Biden sabotaged her. A new book says Joe wouldn't let Kamala run her own campaign. Her campaign was staffed by his aides who sought to defend his presidency at any cost. And the day of the debate with Trump, Biden gave Kamala a call. It was an unusual kind of pep talk and another reminder about the loyalty he demanded. No longer able to defend his own record, he expected Harris to protect his legacy. Wow. Whether she won or lost the election, he thought she would only harm him publicly by distancing herself from him. He needed just 3 words to convey how much all of that mattered to him. No daylight, kid. Kamala needed a firm message. But after flopping an interview sitting next to little Timmy, her team decided all she needed was a firm chair.
Not little Timmy.
For the rest of the campaign, her team required that she be provided a chair that met certain specifications.
Okay, special chair.
Leg height, no less than 15 inches. Floor to top of seat height, no less than 18.9 inches. Wow. Arms on chairs may not be very high. Arms must fall flat at a natural height. Chairs must be firm.
Okay. Right.
Speaking of Tampon Tim, he's back. And he says it's all his fault.
Look, I own this. We wouldn't be in this mess if we'd have won the election. And we didn't. We have to make sure that Americans know it's not just that Donald Trump is bad, but we're offering them something better. And I think that's what we need to work on.
Yeah, that didn't happen, bro. Like, none of what you were offering actually mattered inherently, deeply to me, guys.
And Tampon's sure putting in the work. He's launching a nationwide town hall tour in Republican districts. He's obviously running. Does anybody want this?
Not
Walz
really.
inserting himself into the national conversation is like the guy at the cocktail party with bad breath. And he's got company. Gavin, Mayor Pete, and Rahm Emanuel are all jockeying for the nom. Gavin soft launched his campaign with a new podcast. Michelle Obama trying the podcast thing, but the premiere was a flop. Barack hasn't even promoted it. That's weird. Mayor Pete moved to Michigan hoping to run for Senate, but now he says he'll sit that race out too and focus on the future of the country, which means he's running for president. And now Maxine Waters, no relation, says that Trump slimming down our spending is setting the stage for a civil war.
Really?
I'm worried that Trump is on the edge of creating a civil war.
Okay.
He alluded to it more than once. He alluded to the fact that if he did not get reelected, that there could be a civil war. What does Trump expect?
Yeah, what she doesn't understand is that the concept of what he's saying is coming from the fact that there are people who are inside of the United States of America who do not adhere to the overall woke ideology, let's say, that's coming specifically from the left right now. So if you're going to say that that represents us, there's going to be an issue. I think that's basically how I can read Trump saying something about a civil war, guys, not in the context of basically anything else.
Oh, I believe he expects violence. I believe he expects confrontation. I believe he's working toward a civil war.
Okay.
Tommy Lahren, Outkick.com host and host of the 100 Days with Tommy Lahren. All right, let's go one by one. Gavin Newsom, does he have the chops?
No.
He's desperately trying to convince us he's a moderate, right? But what I'm actually interested in is he may have funded a bust of himself in the San Francisco City Hall. There's no one that loves Gavin more than Gavin. If he can convince the country to love him half as much as he loves himself and the sight of his own reflection in shiny objects, then he's probably off to a great start. What I noticed between all those possible contenders, they're all, for the most part, white males, I believe. I'm not assuming anyone's gender or their racial identity. You can be whatever you want in the Democrat Party.
Yes.
But you went from black woman to all white men. Diversity is dead. DEI is dead.
Are you saying that the Democrats are never going to run a woman again?
You know, Hillary might make a comeback.
Or Michelle.
Michelle, well, you know
Have you
what?
listened to this podcast? All she does is rag on her husband.
Yeah, there's trouble in paradise there. I think after the Kamala Harris loss, those two were the power couple, and now they don't have to keep up the front, the facade. They're happy on the yachts. They're happy doing the podcast. Michelle, though, is figuring out that she needs Barack.
She does.
Okay.
The first
okay.
time.
Yeah, I don't really see that. I mean, listen, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, guys, Obama's not president anymore. I don't really, that's past. But here's the thing. I think a woman could definitely win the presidency. I just don't think that it's going to be a Democrat, not with that specific ideology. Like if that was the woman's ideology, she's going to lose. And if they continue on, attempting to push like all these crazy ideologies down the throats of American citizens, then they're going to keep losing. Like they still have not actually sat down and thought about it for a second. Like, you know what, bro? Listen, maybe this is why we lost. Yeah, bro.
I'm with her brother. I think they need to bring the husband back. Let's talk about Mayor Pete, who has a husband, very much in love, so we believe. Do you think he has potential as a presidential nominee, Mayor Pete?
Well, it went so well the first time, right? After all those candidates were on that stage, including Kamala Harris, they picked Joe Biden. So what does that tell you? They're not really looking for a radical. They're not really looking for a new generation. They went with Joe because he was their best option then. And does Pete have a chance? I'm not sure if you're trying to win over masculine men. I'm not sure Pete's the route that you go.
No,
but
at all.
I could be wrong.
Okay, he was in war, right? Didn't he have a helmet? I forget.
Okay.
I shouldn't try to talk about his military service. I
But did Tommy Lauren change her entire face, or is that age?
never served, except in the war on Christmas. Tommy, what about Tiananmen Tim?
Listen, Tim is the last person to realize that he was simply the wingman on a political kamikaze mission with Kamala Harris. And I love the fact that he's really taken it. You know, he's taken it upon himself. His daughter is famous on TikTok. I think that's bled into his ego a little bit. Nobody takes him seriously. But the fact that he has now been on national television more than Kamala Harris tells you it wasn't Joe that sabotaged Kamala. It was Kamala that sabotaged Kamala. Joe might have helped. But listen, this whole thing about, well, he said no daylight. What is she? Doesn't have a brain of her own. She can't think. She can't speak on her own.
Is that a rhetorical question?
I mean, I think we saw it.
Tommy, do you have any chair specifications? Is this chair to your liking, the height, the arm level?
I do. I appreciate this chair. It's a nice chair. And, you know, we're at the same level here. So
you don't require 18.9 inches in height.
I'm surprised you didn't have them lower mine just a little bit, Jesse, to keep yours up a little higher.
I do.
But no,
You know,
we're at the
I
same height.
have an ego, not as touchy as Gavin, but I do like.
All right, guys. We're kind of going off into the realm of just like slight conversation. All right, so I just wanted to make sure I heard everything that was being said here, guys. It does actually seem interesting that the concept of DEI, even though they're basically out here protesting. First of all, DEI has nothing to do with blackness. It has everything to do with being a female, a woman. That's really the beneficiaries, the main beneficiaries, let's say, large scale of DEI. Anyway, but yeah, it does look like it. I mean, based off of what they're attempting to run, at least, then yeah, it looks like DEI absolutely, even within the Democrat Party, has slightly slowed, because I don't see any women in these positions of power. Basically, guys, right? I'm just trying to follow the logic here. Now, when it comes down to the chair situation, I'm guessing it had something to do with maybe like a power stance or something. Like she felt weak sitting in the chair. I'm not sure that would have been beneficial anyway. You know, sitting in front of sitting in front of the president, the prime minister, the premier, whatever they're called in Ukraine, guys, right? Zelensky. I'm sure, you know, with how Zelensky was speaking all spicy, I'm not sure that would have made her look any stronger. So either way, now Tim Walz. Yeah, took some notes here. So when it comes to Tim Walz, I'm not sure he played much of a factor, let's say, in Kamala's loss. I think she was going to lose anyway, pretty much based off of her policies. Her policies just do not, I don't know, they don't really affect the overwhelming masses of Americans. They just don't, right? You're talking about a very specific ilk of individuals that it has the ability to affect, guys. So, and also Gavin Newsom, please do not let this man, matter of fact, hold on. If you let Gavin Newsom run for president on the Democrat ticket, you're going to lose. Period. Right? And why would he lose? Because he runs California. He ran California into the ground. Like, do we really need California, well, the United States of America, to basically resemble California in policy? Not at all, guys. All right? Not at all. We're good on that, Gavin Newsom. Thank you. All right. But in the meantime, listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. And guys, be safe. If you guys are in the path of this oncoming tornado, I'm about to, just shelter in place in a moment, guys. All right. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day.